What is going on, guys and girls? It's GhostRobo, and welcome back to some more Mortal Kombat X. I made a serious small error in the last video that everyone caught, which was that I said there were only 2 girl characters in the build I played, Katana and Devora, but that is not correct. Cassie Cage takes the stage as a new fighter here in this new next-gen Mortal Kombat. If you enjoy these videos and want to see more Mortal Kombat X, make sure to hit that like button. Let me know in the comments below. As soon as I can, I'll bring you more footage, I'll bring you more campaign, and we'll stream it as well. But I had to correct my error by bringing you some Cassie Cage footage of me fighting against my brother here as the new female character that I mistakenly forgot about, and I do apologize, and good on you guys for catching the fact that she was available.
Cassandra Cage.
Anyone in there heard of so?
And we check the move list as she's about to talk. Like, hold up, Cassie. We have more important things to do. Again, the stances are really cool, and I made sure to try out a bunch of the different stances, and they always feel different too.
Round 1, fight.
So it's Jake as Ermac and me as Cassie here, and we will see who can come to work. He is the Mystic Ermac, and I am the Spec Ops Cassie Cage, and I am like, uh-oh, this is going to be a nasty fight, so I'm quickly checking the move list. This version of Ermac actually was incredibly strong and one of Jake's best characters. He seemed to have the most success with Mystic Ermac and then with Katana. Now, granted, I did not know much about Cassie Cage, so I was trying to get her to work, and I really wanted to get the guns and the nut punch as best I could. But Ermac has some really good, like, he plays a nice control game. And then, of course, his head-butting, skull-crushing X-ray is pretty sweet, along with the neck break. I don't know how Cassie Cage gets up from that one. Oh, my dear God. But don't worry. We call in an airstrike, and we'll come back, and we might even show him up. If we get a win here, I'm predicting a fatality. So you guys definitely want to stick around. Cassie Cage may look like she's up to no good right now. Like, she is no good, but the comeback may be in order. I really like the fact that you can throw this old lady. I think it's completely awful, but also like really crazy. And I like calling in the airstrike and then throwing the old lady at Ermac. Poor old woman. Oh my God, it's like a Grandma Destruction Simulator at its finest. Cassie manages to pull off the win, proving that even though her moveset may not be that crazy looking or that insane by Mortal Kombat standards, it's a pretty effective one if you know how to use her. And like, obviously this is not high-level player or anything. It's the first time using these characters, but she does have some pretty cool moves. That one is very similar to Johnny Cage's kick, except it's more vertical. It almost reminds me of, dare I say, Cammy from Street Fighter, but I got a nice nut punch X-ray. That is absolutely disgusting. Nobody wants to crush that. Who even wants to touch that? And then we've got the guns blowing out both eyeballs. Ermac is blind as I call in another airstrike, but he is going to put up a fight here in this really awesome map with the crazy tusk beasts in the background. We got a 1-0 fight right now. Cassie Cage in the lead, but Ermac using teleports and a lot of just sort of like spacing and control here to manage the battlefield. Again, Scorpion and Ermac with those teleports are so dangerous. Stop pausing the game, GhostRobo. I promise, when I get the actual game, I will not do that. I was just never played MKX, so I was trying to figure out, you know, just what all the moves were and whatnot. But when I post the videos with the actual game, which I'm hoping to get early if I can for you guys, since everybody's been so into these videos, there will be no pause screens. Ermac wins, and he ties things up. Cassie now has to put on her best nut punch suit and hope that we can get this back. Ermac, again, starting off pretty darn crispy, getting a third of my bar done before I even have a chance to do an attack. We'll get the block in, though, get a grab on Ermac, slap him, and nightstick him. She's all about abusing the crotch region, which I don't know how I feel about that, but it works for her. So we'll just zoom our way across the map, get a little mystic of our own up in this fight. I would say that Cassie Cage was not one of my favorite characters. I was much more into Devora and Quan Chi and a couple of other different guys, but she still is interesting because she is new and because she has a very different play style, I feel like, than a lot of the other characters. Her moveset just is much more grounded, so you can do different things. But this is a close fight, and Ermac is putting the paint on, but Cassie Cage gets the special gunshot, reminding me of Injustice there. We get a little slap, and we'll finish the fight with one little slap throw. Good night to yourself, Mr. Ermac. I'm like, oh God, we got to get the fatality. What do we do? What do we do? Here we go.
Cassie wins.
It's one of the weirdest ones. She shoots a hole in his head and then fills up a bubblegum bubble with his blood. Gross. Just gross. Let's run it back with Cassie Cage against somebody else and see how she fares in a different fight on a different map here. Actually, this might be a rematch with Ermac. I didn't know that. Jacob, switch characters. But it looks like we're running things back here once again. Cassie Cage and Ermac duking it out. We don't need a map switch. We don't need a character switch. We just need a straight-up rematch. Who is your favorite character that you've seen thus far? Let me know in the comments down below.
I'm here to beat down a Mr. Ermac?
You will die, foolish girl. Round 1. Fight.
I love how the character's dialogue before the matches is all specific to said character. It's pretty cool how they've recorded so much dialogue that they're able to, as Ermac said, identify each other and have these little like quabbles between each other before they battle it out. That's the nut punch right there. You're seeing a different Cassie Cage here. This is now Hollywood Cassie Cage, still against Mystic Ermac, because that seemed to be Jake's favorite. But Hollywood Cassie Cage is a little bit of a different moveset, and will focus a little bit differently than the first one. That's where you saw sort of that like split nut punch attack really come into effect there. Ermac is putting the early beatdown. The cool thing here with the different forms is that you retain majority of your attacks. So it's still Cassie Cage, tried and true, but you have a little bit of extra like sauce on top, including that air gun fire that I don't believe was in her other build. We'll dodge the barrel and we'll come back, sending Ermac straight into peril, but he does have an early lead here. He's trying to blast us away. There's a cool dynamic where you have to decide if you're going to use your super meter towards the end to try to come back and, you know, close out a round, or if you're going to save it. I opted to let him just sort of take it there, and now I'm saving it for round 2.
Round 2.
And we have a full super meter, and he has absolutely none, so I could get an X-ray. The first couple matches we played, X-rays were working every single time, and were incredibly devastating. There we go. He just walked right into it. I love how it has a little stun effect afterwards. But after a while, we figured out how to block and avoid the X-rays quite easily, and therefore we switched over to more using the enhanced supers instead of the X-rays for most of our meter usage, and that seemed to be much more effective and created cooler fights with better combos and just better looking. As much as I love the X-rays, they do kind of stop the action, and once you've seen them like 6 times, it kind of gets old. I would rather just like keep the fight going. But we definitely brought the pain to Ermac here in round 2. Cassie Cage, she's like, Ghost, you may have forgot about me last video, not even mentioned me, thought I didn't exist, but here I am to show you that with a few weird nut punches, we are definitely up there in terms of power. Final round here of the day of the video. Will Cassie Cage get the win against Ermac, or will Ermac have the last laugh? Thank you guys so much for supporting these videos. Like, you've been incredibly awesome. I could not believe how many people were so into Mortal Kombat, which is so cool, because you may not remember, you may not even know, but Mortal Kombat 9 was one of my first ever series I did on YouTube, and it was back way back in 2011. A couple months after I first started, I had a super small channel, and that was like a really cool experience because people actually enjoyed watching me play like a walkthrough for one of the first times ever. And so I thought it would be fun to do Mortal Kombat 10 walkthrough as kind of like an anniversary special. You know, it's a special game for Mortal Kombat, but also special for my channel. And again, if you guys like these videos like you've been liking them, I'll do the full campaign as soon as I can, hoping and trying to get it early for you guys. Make sure to follow me on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/GhostRobo. I'll be streaming Mortal Kombat X there, and maybe we can even do some like battles against fans and stuff. Cassie Cage is coming to work. Mystic Ermac doesn't seem to stand a chance right now. He had some definitely powerful moments. He's showing some strength at the end of the fight here, but Cassie Cage with the block. Ermac coming in, we get the special, and now it's time to finish the fight. Oh God, will we get to see the finisher again? The bubblegum blood blaster. Let's see. Can Cassie execute it twice in a row? It's pretty tough. Like, the first time you go to see these finishers, as like a layman average fighting gamer, I'm like, I want to do it right, and instead I just shot him. But that's alright. Sometimes a little bit of anticlimactic ending is good, and you get to see a different scene as well. I actually like the finishing portraits of the characters here when you just win normally as opposed to the finishers. But, you know, you can do whatever you want. Fatality it up and make it crazy, or just tap them and make it kind of lazy. But also, you get that sweet up-close character portrait at the end of the video, or at the end of the fight. This is the end of the video, though, guys and girls. So thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Drink some hot chocolate. And until next time, make sure to fit Cassie Cage in here, because we did forget her. Now she's not forgotten, and neither are you. I love you all, and we will see you all later.